Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be breaking down the stock market. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go above and beyond and get all types of daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, definitely head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. And now, let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And you can see fear and greed index. We're still in greed. Now, we just came off a little bit. Yesterday was 67, now 64. Let's have a look at the bear bull sentiment. And you guys will see that right here that 46% are actually bullish here in the market, and about 34% are bearish, and 19.5% are neutral. So it went completely the other way around from the last reading. Now we do have some data. You can see today some data came out, but mainly tomorrow, big focus would be building permits, durable goods. That's 8:30. But the big one would be Jay Powell himself with the interest rate decision and the press conference at 2:30. Now, on top of that, this is Fed's favorite gauge right here to measure the inflation. That's going to come out, and if this is going to be in line or somehow coming down, this is going to be something really crazy if it's in line and if it's coming down, because there is no way real inflation is down. I have seen things. Let's forget about everything else. Just in Walmart and Costco, things are up. Everything is up right now from where we were paying a couple of months ago because of higher gas prices and a lot of other factor that is driving this price up. Now, if you look at the market, Elon Musk takes the stand in OpenAI trial, and they're just going back and forth. This entire AI theme is just a big scam. If you guys remember back in 2020 and when we had EV started, right? This I'm just giving you guys an example of what happened recently. What happened on some of those stocks? If you look at it, have a look at something like ChargePoint, right? It's actually a charging station company. They run a lot of charging station even up until now. But look at their stock. So this was one of the bubble that did burst. Nobody talks about it. EV bubble. Oh, the EV, the new company going public, and then the stock goes up ballistic within few days. And now nobody even talks about it. That bubble. Some of these names. Look at Canoe, another one. EV company, startup company. Only few surviving. Look at for example, Rivian, guys. That's the one in the business right now, still selling cars. I don't live too far away from the headquarter. In how much is the stock? 16 bucks. It's not 500, right? So what we're seeing right now, it's a massive bubble, especially when it comes to AI, chip companies, semiconductors. They're just mooning. They just keep going up. Now, when you look at the market, Dow was flat, Nasdaq down 0.90%. Nothing really big. This is not a big down day. Some people will say, "Oh, market went lower." This is lower. Nasdaq went up last Friday almost 2%. This is only zero point 0.9. S&P, nothing, 0.5%, not even that. Russell was down 1.17%. Advancing 41, declining 54. So that tells the story what's going on. Now, when you look at this in energy, you can see energy, even this week, even last week, energy was up. Utilities, they were up even this week. Look at today, energy leading, consumer defensive, real estate, and what happened? Did we see a big pullback on technology? We did. Did we actually see a bigger pullback on semiconductors? Absolutely nothing. 1 month, and this is from, I guess, the March bottom, right? Technology up 20%, communication services up 17%. What's down? Right here. So can we flip? Can we give back some of those gains? Technology can give back 5, 6, 7, 10%. Absolutely, we can do that. But it seems like nobody wants to talk about it, and people think, and I am reading a lot of comments on a lot of things, and people are just going after people. Like if I say, I'm not bullish here on this market, people will say you're a bear, this, that. If you post a chart, people are just gonna go after you because, you know, people are just extremely bullish. They just think market just gonna grind higher and higher every day, and this is gonna continue. And we'll talk about it another chart. As a matter of fact, bunch of charts. So today, well, the semis did cool off a little bit. Is that something big? Is that something I'm really concerned about? Absolutely not. I mean, Nvidia was barely down. Broadcom was barely down. AMD did came down and closed that gap from I think Friday, but it's barely down. All of it, it's sitting at all-time highs. So how much room they have to the upside? Apple held the market together, and Microsoft, Amazon down, Tesla, Meta all down, Google flat, and you can see energy sector right here lighting up in the green and consumer defensive, especially Coca-Cola with really good earnings. Even Pepsi and all that, they went up on that nice beat on earnings from Coca-Cola. But some of these names like STX, I think this thing is up right now. WDC, these were penny stocks, guys. I mean, they were not that much, just a few months back. But look at right here, computer hardware. And then look at right here, semiconductor equipments, right? I mean, it's just insane. Anything related to computer chips, that's it. It's just gonna go up whether they have the capital, whether it's a big company or not. Nope, we're just gonna go up because semiconductor or memory chips, computer hardware. That's it. That's the theme right now. Is that going to continue? Absolutely not. And I think something big is brewing behind this rally, and we'll find out very soon because we did find out on some of the other names. They were doing the exact same thing before, and I'm going to start with those names today. So let's get started. All right, so I want to start with silver. Now, when you look at it, this is SLV, the ETF. What happened? We topped here. Did we come back up? No. I just want to measure a move here, and then we'll talk about why I'm actually doing this right here on SLV. So look at right here, guys. From top to bottom, we went down 44, 50%. This is massive, right? And right now, if you look at it, this was a bear flag, broke down. This is a bear flag breaking down as we speak. So that's one, almost gave back half of the gains. Now, was this thing doing the same thing? Right? Another one, energy stock, Chevron. The war going on. What happened to Chevron? It took off right here and boom, 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 and an all-time high. Is it actually heading lower? Do we have a bear flag? We do. We came down by how much? From the top to the bottom, we gave back about 17%. How much did we go up from the bottom? 32%, 33 almost, right? So this is totally normal. Now, does that mean this stock is bad or, we shouldn't be buying or touching? No, it had a nice run up, but then it came back. Now I'm going to show you guys what's crazy, and this is the craziest thing you're going to see. So this is the bull ETF 3x. We can look at SOX or even SMH, but let's have a look at this one. Are you seeing the same move here? Absolutely. What happened today? Down 11%. At one point, I think it was down like 14, 15% because this is 3x. So if the others are going like 2, 3%, this is going to be 3x. So this is exactly what we saw. You got a doji type of candle. I think we did fill this gap and this gap as well here. Two gaps in one day. Can this thing go down just like what do you call it, SLB or even Chevron? I can name a few others, but these are some stocks that are actually went up in recent times and they came back. You can also look at gold, same thing, same chart. Have a look at SOXX, same thing. I was even saying that we can get something like these candles. We got one here, but absolutely no follow through. So we got one pullback here, 1 day, and that is it. But look at right here, SMH. So when you look at it, we broke out, and it's really far, far away, really overextended. Nowhere near any of the moving averages, especially on a longer time frame. And look at the way it moved up. Today we came down to 483, and that was the bottom for the day. Went up by $10 twice immediately. So if this thing gives back, let's just say it went up like from the top to the bottom. How much? It's massive, right? 30, 40%. What if it gives back like 10%? It's going to be right here. Maybe even here, right? 14, 15%. So people that are thinking that market just going to grind and go higher, yes, it can go higher. I'm not denying that. But look at what's happening on SPY. Let's have a look at hourly time frame. So last few days, what's happening on SPY? We are just shopping. And this is the hourly time frame. And 2 weeks ago, right here, that 709 was a key support zone. We bounced off of that. We broke below, we gapped down. We went right back up. We came back in again. We went back up, and then 709 again held as a support. Now, if you look at it, we have a pivot point one here, and now today we did not break. Now, is it gonna go back to that upper portion? Possible, but also when you look at this, what you're seeing, it's a trend line that goes all the way back and touches this and even touches, I mean, I can even go and let's say touch this as well. So it's hitting it, right? And it's on a weekly time frame. Can this thing go down? Absolutely it can. Now, when you look at this price action, you would be like, this is a dip or market pullback. There will be videos today, huge pullback and all that, people making. This is nothing, guys. Absolutely nothing. Now, past couple of days, what's happening? Even on a daily, you can see it's a rising wedge here. We're just wedging. We did not even get to previous all-time highs. So when you look at it, it's right here, right? 696, 697, somewhere there, 695. We're not even there. We did not fill this gap all the way. When you look at some shorter time frame, 701, and then not to mention this 680 plus gap. I'm not even going to mention this because I don't think we're coming down here anytime soon unless something changes. Now, why oil is up today? Look at this, guys. So you think like, okay, everything is good. Then why is USO going up, gapping up today? Look at that strong closing today, guys. This is an hourly time frame. We had a gap up and go, and this thing is wedging. And when you look at it, 140, right? Back when USO was 140, let's have a look at the daily time frame, right? USO was 140 right here on Tuesday, April 7, 2026. That's when pretty much the market found a bottom. Now, when you look at SPY, all right, so here you go, SPY. That's not here. We got to go to right here. So this was USO topped in SPY. It went up already, but you can see it was down here. We're nowhere near, and USO sitting almost close to previous highs, right? Or possibly even all-time highs. So yes, we're not seeing a pullback. We have massive, massive earnings week. Tomorrow night, bunch of big earnings coming out, guys. So with that being said, we cannot afford to take risk to the upside. This is not a time. I don't care if market goes to 800. I'm not buying here. I'm not gonna participate in this mini tiny, you know, rally. I'm not gonna participate in the market when semiconductor is up 50, 60%. Some of the stocks are up 70, 80%, and not even a single day pullback where I would say it's actually staying down, where we would see a follow through. Now, just because we're not seeing follow through or big move to the downside, don't forget what happened before. Look at this thing right here. Today, it was down, but down from where? Down from the top. We have this channel. We hit the top and then we came back in, and now it's around 1,000. But look at this thing. You would think this is actually healthy. Just go back to right here, last year, end of last year. It was like 198, 186, 200. If you go back another year, like 2025, beginning of 2025, look at this, guys. I mean, how much this thing was. You think anyhow this thing worth more than $1,000 a piece, and there are some analysts upgrading this. This is just a memory stock. So a lot of things that are just acting like not only, dot com bubble. This is way bigger than dot com bubble. Look at this rally here. It's not up by 1, 2, 5, 10, 12%. This is massive. If this is not a biggest bubble on Earth right now than what it is. We have seen car. What's going on here? Look at that. Okay, the short squeeze, we came back. Are you seeing the same thing here on this graph? Nope. It's just grinding and going higher. Somehow finding support bottom of the channel since this bottom right here. So a lot of things happening in the market. SMH, some of the moving averages, 50-day moving average and all that. We're not even nowhere, close to any moving average, especially on a longer time frame. So it's just insane, how things are moving and how things will move forward. And if you're just, going for that mini tiny dip, and that real dip comes in, let's say within next, few days, what are you gonna do then? You're already underwater. You already bought the dip at the top, and now you're waiting to sell when market moves up, and the market is not moving. So it's just insane how people are just chasing this rally as the market presses higher. So be careful when you do that, and it's definitely not something you want to do. Triple Q, I want to talk about this as well. So this is actually the fib level here. If we actually go and retrace 38%, we're going to be somewhere here at what is that, 623, and that's coming from this low to this high, and we're nowhere near there, guys. Today down about 1%, nothing big. We did not even close this gap from 2 weeks ago Friday, and let alone the other gaps down here. So things are just pushing higher, so that would be something to watch. That 650 zone, if we come down here with Jay Powell tomorrow. If not, sometime market holds up, and definitely tomorrow we have big names reporting earnings. If it holds up, yes, definitely we can stay up for another day or two. But at some point, a market is going to meet with reality that oil prices is going up massively, and market seems like nothing happened. Yes, market went past that Iran war already, but you cannot ignore the prices on oil. That is a longer term shock that is still in this market, still in this economy, and all over the place. Not only here in US, all over the place, and the market just completely ignoring that, and that's not gonna be good for the market. Another one I just want to point out, and I'm not just giving you guys support and resistance today, just doing a deeper dive in a little bit of different way of looking at the market. So what happened to IWM today? You can see there is a lot of weakness. We were holding that 274. We did break down a little bit off of that today, even the other day, because there are no rate cuts until 2027, end of 2027. higher gas prices, higher diesel, everything, higher prices for the fertilizer, and that's gonna boost the prices of food that you and I we all eat. So everything is going up. So the zombie companies, how they make money? When rates are cheaper, right? When things are cheap. If things are expensive, IWM, what was the purpose of this big rally, all time high? It was a lot of optimism that Fed, they're going to cut the rates and probably going to slam it down to zero. And what I've been hearing from Kevin Warsh, maybe just to please Trump, maybe he will do 25 50 basis points, but this guy is known for raising rates. And if he sees inflation going higher, he could be really hawkish, and he could be really more hawkish than Jay Powell, and he can definitely put a stop to this rally. Because if the equity market just goes up like this and all the food, energy, everything is up, what's the point of having Fed? No control over anything, everything is pushing higher. So you can't afford this. So if that happens, market is not realizing that right now. And sometimes when the market realizes that time, a lot of the people, they already buy the dip. So 270 gap still in line. I think we're going to fill that very soon, maybe even come off a little bit more, meet with the 50-day moving average at some point, because we're pretty far away. And this thing rallied about 12% already for the year, 12-10%. So if we give back maybe 5-6%, I think that's totally healthy. Just keep an eye on it. If this thing breaks below this low down here, that's going to be around 257. That's going to be problematic for small caps. VIX, not much to read into today. You can see we had a nice move up, but I like it actually. This thing didn't go up that much because market went down slightly. If this thing was pushing 21 plus, they would just crush this thing down again and call it a day. So this thing did not go up, and that tells me that there is still pressure here in this market. Market can still go down, and we could see a lot more downside in the market if this thing rises back up. Don't forget, we still have a gap around 25 here on VIX. Dollar was up today, and you can see dollar holding up pretty well. That trend line held up again this week, or actually last week, and now we're just consolidating. So if the dollar goes up, things are going to look really different. And I think the only thing that is holding up this entire market, that is semiconductor, and especially this memory chips, and if they take a back seat, which money will be rotating out at some point, if that happens, guys, you're going to see that big dip in the market, and that's going to be our opportunity to buy